Hello everyone, welcome to my review of set 75394 Imperial Star Destroyer. This set has 1,555 pieces and retails for $160. Now, I think that price, it's not the most expensive thing that came out on August 1st. That's definitely Dark Falcon, but the price per piece is definitely there, I think. Just 45 pieces off from 10 cents a piece, so that's a pretty good ratio. And I don't know. I think that if you have the Imperial Light Cruiser from a couple years ago, I'm not sure if you'd really want an upgrade from this. This is obviously, probably one of the most iconic Imperial vehicles. That's why they've made it, and this is actually the third iteration. It's actually been a decade since we've gotten one. But without further ado, I want to get to building this, and I think you all want to watch me review it. So, I'm not going to count these bags, so I know how many is in there. There are 14 numbered bags, so that's good. And inside here will be our instruction manual and sticker sheet. Our first minifigure is probably one of the most hyped of the summer, and that is Cal Kestis. Now, ever since LEGO made BD1 and LEGO said they wouldn't do things off of the game, and when we heard that we were getting anniversary figures, people have been wanting Cal Kestis. And ever since he's been rumored, people have been hyped. Now, the Star Destroyer, it turned out to be a Star Destroyer, of course, but it was originally rumored to be like a Death Star playset. I don't know how that rumor got confused. But anyway, looking at Cal Kestis, he does look beautiful, I must say. I myself have not actually played Jedi Survivor or the other one, and so that's where I'm really not biased towards this. He's a good figure, I must say. He's got some solid printing, all exclusive pieces in this. Like, even the hair piece, that's exclusive to just Cal Kestis, I'm pretty sure. And, no, other than the lightsaber. But, I think that there's just other figures out there. Like, of the 5 I have, I think 9 Numb's the best. But you'll hear more about that in my upcoming review of the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit. But anyway, looking at Cal Kestis, we can see he has this plate at the bottom with the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars logo printed on this 4x6 plate. You have a 2x4 here, so that with your other anniversary figures, you can actually connect those up, and you can have a whole line of anniversary figures. Now, just looking at Cal Kestis, we can see on the legs he has some great printing there for some pockets, a little color there for like a little badge, I guess. Foot printing, some more leg printing there. We have a little waist printing on these gunmetal gray legs. We have some nice torso printing for some straps on this chest plate here. You have some fur sticking out or whatever that is. He has a brown glove on this hand and then no glove on this hand. Dark blue torso is nice, and he gives me some Cassian Andor vibes kind of. And he has a little backpack piece. I'm assuming that'd probably be for BD1. Speaking of BD1, we'll actually come back to him. Looking at the face print, this is new for Cal Kestis. We can see some cheekbones there. And we can see some other scars on his face. He has a nice smile on this side. And then he has this weird, fighting face, almost. So, it's definitely one of the weirder Star Wars faces I've seen, but, probably works for him. And then we have this new darker orange hair piece here. I am pretty sure they created this piece, not a new mold, it's just a new color, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's a new color of this piece for Cal. You can correct me if I'm wrong, I might be. But, yeah. But, as far as I know, there's just 2 real things that are wrong with this Cal Kestis. My brother actually plays the game, so I've gotten to see some of Cal Kestis in those games. And looking at his game and what actually is in Jedi Survivor and what the other one, I can't remember its name off the top of my head. There's 2 main things missing from Cal Kestis. The first thing, in my opinion, is a poncho. I think he really needs, this cloth pauldron here. Seeing the original Cal Kestis here and just taking this off and putting a poncho on him, I think that just looks better, in my opinion. You still get the printing. They gave a poncho to Qui-Gon this year, and he wasn't an anniversary figure. I don't know why we couldn't have gotten one for Cal Kestis here. And, in my opinion, that looks just better than what they had. And again, another thing I wish they had included here would have been his faithful friend, BD1. LEGO already made him in a set. This is an official LEGO piece here. It came out back in 2022, I believe. That did retire last year, so you cannot actually buy this anymore. That is one of the most frustrating things, because If the Star Destroyer had been out when the BD-1 was out, they definitely would have gotten some sales for that BD-1, because people are going to want Cal Kestis and BD-1. Like, it's a great duo there, and I gotta say, this looks great, and I know what you're saying, but Matt, it's an anniversary figure, not anniversary figure and accessory, but in the new Princess Leia minifigure, it actually has the Lola droid from Kenobi, so you can't tell me that they can't include, like, little droids or little side pieces. Like, that's just one little piece. They had, like, 3 extra pieces on the side there. So, I really don't know what their thought was, not including either of these pieces. Even just taking Qui-Gon's poncho and putting it on here. Like, I think the 2019 Luke poncho looks better, but even that Qui-Gon poncho, even just that poncho that's already in production, not, like, it actually came out this year, and just putting that on him, that would have been a dramatic upgrade. And they really should have had BD-1 in this. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, don't get me wrong. I love this figure. It's a great Cal Kestis, and our first and probably only one. And I can see this minifigure going up in price as the years go by, because of how iconic that game is and how much people love it. But I gotta say, I don't think it's the best minifigure of these line. Now, it's definitely going to be the most sought after, that and probably Darth Malak or 5s. Maybe Saw Gerrera. Actually, no, swap Saw Gerrera and 5s. But I think this is just an overhyped minifigure, and it's good quality for what it is. It's just not all that, it's not all there. Our next minifigure up is Darth Vader. Now, there is really nothing special about him. He is the same Darth Vader we've been getting for quite some years now, with that new arm printing there that makes him look good. Although, something different is this cape here. It is a more papery than cloth, so I must say, on some figures, I prefer cloth. Like on Thor and stuff like that, I prefer cloth. But on Darth Vader, I think he should have this harder, papery style cape here. Now, you can lift up that cape and see some wonderful back printing there, and that looks great. And we can, like, there's great detail here, and, like, I think LEGO has probably gotten Darth Vader, he's probably one of the most perfect minifigures they have, that great face, and I think there's just really not much they can improve on this, if any. Some of the same things can be said here with the Stormtrooper. It is the same one that they have in production. Like, Darth Vader and the Stormtrooper are the only minifigures that are in other sets. The other 5 are exclusive. We already looked at Cal Kestis. There are 4 others after this. But looking at the Stormtrooper, I think the 2019 one is better. I personally like the printing better. I like the black white, the hips instead of white. And I actually like the older helmet designs. Let me see if I have one around here. It appears I do not, but if I did, I'll be able to show you it. And I just think the older, like 2015, 2018, 17, whatever era that is, and I think those helmets were designed, like, pop that on the 2019 Trooper, I think we got ourselves a deal. And I think LEGO could make this Stormtrooper better. I think that if they just retired this mold and, like, this helmet mold and got a new mold, they could probably make a better, more accurate Stormtrooper, but LEGO is choosing to cut corners and keep making this. So, it's a nice Stormtrooper, don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, it's not the quality we think we should get, you know? Our next minifigure is the Imperial Gunner. Now, this minifigure has appeared in sets before, and it is still as great as it was before. Now, we have some nice leg printing there, with some pouches there. We have some nice torso printing with, like, a chest plate there. Looking at the back, we can see more of that. The helmet is not brand new, I think. I believe they've used it in older battle packs. We have a little printing there on the side. That looks great. And we also have the Imperial logo on top. And if we lift that up, we can see this female face, like that clone head. And I think it is a great figure and definitely a necessary part for the Star Destroyer. Our next minifigure is a Death Star guard, I think. And I don't know, this is just a weird minifigure to me, and I actually have an older version, so let me just grab that for you. Actually, never mind, because I figured out that it's actually quite difficult to get to it, so we're not going to worry about that. But anyway, looking at this is still a great figure. This is not a new mold, I think. It may be, like, slightly different from what we had in the past, but it is still as great. And just this giant cone, and looking at it, we can see it's very big for a minifigure. Now, looking at this, we actually have a man here. He has a chin strap under there, and we can actually flip him around and see a second facial expression. It's a little weird that we got 2 expressions on this minifigure, and I must say it is actually quite weird, but like this is actually, I think, the only minifigure in this set with double-sided face printing other than Cal Kestis. Looking at the rest of them, though, that torso print is great. We have like some nice armor, he has a belt there, some creases in his armor, and yeah, just a great figure. Here we have an Imperial Technician. Now, of course, these guys are classic for that scene on the Death Star whenever they go up to scan and then they get knocked out, and yeah, you all know the scene. And anyway, looking at him, he is great. Not as good as he could be, though. The 2019 Star Destroyer. They had these guys pretty much same printing on everywhere, except they actually had arm printing with the Imperial logo. That is something we do not see on this, and that is definitely quality that we deserve, and I don't know why it's not here. Minus that, though, the leg print is perfect. I think the same thing can be said for torso print. The face print is just a man with a microphone headset there. We have this black Imperial Captain's hat, which we will see on another figure in the set, the last one. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good minifigure for what it is. It's just, you know, we should have gotten arm printing for this guy. Our last minifigure in the set is Commander Praji. Now, he is one that we really don't see that much. I think he's in the opening scene of A New Hope, and I don't know, he's just a really interesting minifigure, and one that I think it's definitely great to add him to the collection. Like, in 2023, we got Vice Admiral Soloan. She was only in the comics, and I don't know, just a weird one. But anyway, looking at him, he has some nice printing there with his rank, the 4 blue dots and then 2 red dots. He has some pens there, nice printing there for his Imperial outfit, and he has that hat that was actually used for the Imperial Technician, but he does have a different face than the Imperial Technician. He has a more generic face, and I don't know, I think that for some of these characters, we should have gotten more distinct faces, and that is actually the last minifigure in the set, but I'm kind of confused. Let me tell you why. This minifigure lineup here is great, but I think there could have been one more figure that could have made this just the ultimate Imperial minifigure pack you could have gotten. Well, yeah. So, a TIE Pilot. Why didn't we get one in this set? I mean, it's a TIE Pilot. LEGO throws them into everything. Now, I'm not saying that we need arm printing. I mean, like, for the Technician, we probably should have gotten arm printing for something just that. But the TIE Pilot, they make them in so many sets, and in the UCS one, that arm printing's the only distinction between that and a regular one, so I don't see that coming in anything else. But even just this exact minifigure here, which I think actually it's the 2020 version. But anyway, aside from that, I just think that they really needed to include this, and they also probably should have included, like, a Micro TIE Fighter. I mean, it's a Star Destroyer. How do you not have a Micro TIE Fighter? Even if it's just, like, I don't know how they would have put that in there, but I really do feel like they should have had, like, even just a little bit of a Micro TIE Fighter, like, even at the front. Like, not like the Imperial Light Cruiser from 2021, where it actually shut out the TIE Fighter. Just something in there, like, even just, like, built into the ship, like a little TIE Fighter docking bay, like, built into the ship. That would have been nice. Like, we couldn't use it, but that would have been nice. So with that said, I think that if we had these 7, and of course Cal Kestis, I think that this would be the perfect Imperial set. You get Darth Vader, a Stormtrooper, a bunch of other Imperials, a Commander. Now, of course, the Emperor would be ideal, but, like, if you take out Darth Vader and you buy a bunch of these Star Destroyers, and you could probably just sell Darth Vader and Cal Kestis, then you can just have a bunch of cool Star Destroyers, and you can just pilot it up with all these figures. Now, I personally would not be doing that, but I'm saying that's something you could do, and I don't know. Let's just go. I think that this is a solid minifigure selection. It just could have used more for Cal, Technician, minus of that. Hands down, this is a great Star Destroyer. I think that, wow, like, as you all can see, this thing is just beautiful. I mean, just looking on the sides, how they were able to get the slopage of this, and this section here, I just love that so much. Now, looking on the side, we do have a mixture of tile and plates here, and that is definitely great. I think that's great that we have a mixture of those. Looking over here on this top part over here, we actually have our cannons, and they can be pointed up and down with these little pieces here. Like, you can do that, but that's, of course, not really accurate. And there's this piece right here. You pull that to spin them as you please. Now, for some reason, one of my friends has another Star Destroyer like this, and theirs actually goes a lot more smoother than mine. So if you do end up picking up this set, yours will probably be more smoother. Like, when I flip it around here, I can show you. Look at these turrets. You can see those are really smooth. But for some reason, my side turrets here, I don't think I built it wrong, because I double-checked it at least 3 times, because that bothered me so much. But, like, mine are just really stiff, and I can't figure out why. So, if you buy it, it'll probably be more smooth for you, but I just don't know why mine are that thick. I don't know. But anyway, looking at the side, we have some Technic pins holding in these pieces. That actually will come up, and that serves as some hinges for that. We'll take a look at that in a couple seconds. We're going to go on to this top part here. Looking at this, we have this part that's sticking up, and that is actually so we can fire off a spring-loaded missile. You can see that hint of green poking out from right there, and that is where we fire off our flick-fire missile. Why did I say flick-fire? Anyway, it's not a flick-fire missile. Looking at the back, though, we can actually see some great detail here, and we can see that there is some nice blue thrust there on these big wheels. They can spin around a little bit, but you're not really going to be doing that, so that's fine with me. Over here, we actually have some side panels that they're actually a really illegal technique. If you can see, they're actually being held in by clips there, and that's just weird. Like, I've noticed that LEGO's actually been starting to do more illegal building techniques like that, and I just don't know why. I mean, it's LEGO. They sell the product. They choose what's illegal and legal. So I guess that's a legal building technique now, and I guess it's a useful one, because LEGO's been using it for a while now, at least 2 or 3 years. But looking at that, we also have some mini boosters, but they do not have any thrust in them. It would have been interesting, though, if they'd taken, like, a lightsaber blade and, like, taken it in there, so we'd have at least a little bit of blue thrust. That would have been interesting. I might try to mod that. Probably not. But anyway, looking at the side, we can see a little bit of detail in there that is the same on the other side. Looking at the back here, we can see a little hinge. We can actually lift that up, and that is storage area for extra spring-loaded missiles there, and that can actually be closed up. And actually, what I found that it's actually pretty useful for Darth Vader's lightsaber. You can just pop that in there, and it closes up real nice. I found that is really interesting, but that's just me. Anyway, looking at this set, you can see these parts here. That is, it does stick out a little bit, but really not too much, so that's really what we want, you know. And now it's time to take a look at the bridge. Looking at the bridge, we can see that this was designed beautifully. Looking up here, though, we do have a sticker. We do actually have a somewhat large sticker sheet in this set, which that's always a downer, but stickers are used good, and I think that it was a little bit of a compromise to get such a great Star Destroyer. Looking at that, though, we have a sticker for the bridge. Now, in the 2006 Star Destroyer, you could actually lift up a part over here at the back, I think, and you could actually put minifigures in that. Now, this set has actually been a little bit scaled down, been a little bit more accurate and more good-looking, so you do not actually have the ability to put minifigures in there, but I think minus that ability, it actually gives us a more accurate and good-looking Star Destroyer. Look up here, we have the shield generators, and I don't really know what that part is, but I should know it. I can't remember it, though, but I know those are shield generators. And we have some ventilation there, some clips for greebling, and looking at the side, these pieces are just built like that, and the same on that side, using some hinges. And flipping it around, we can see some pieces here used for that. We can open that up a little bit. Now, you can play with it that way. It's just, you know, it doesn't look the best. You're supposed to all close it up like that, and of course, that's the ideal way to do it. Another ideal function on the Star Destroyer is the handle. Now, I bet you're wondering, Matt the Stud, where's the handle? Now, most of you have already probably seen this, but for those of you who don't know, the handle is one of the most beautifully integrated in LEGO Star Wars history, in my opinion. It's probably my favorite integration, because it doesn't take away from the look, and it adds functionality to the set. You can actually lift up that piece there, and that piece there, and the handle is actually sitting right inside there, ready for you to pick up your Star Destroyer. Now, looking at it, like, problems I've had with handles is, and as other people have had, and M&R mentioned in his review, like, sometimes handles make it not flat, but in this, you could actually fly it around, and really, it's pretty level. I would say it's probably one of the more level handles. Well, that also just shows you how easy that is to flick off. But anyway, I would say that this is a pretty good integrated handle, and really nothing to complain about there. Looking at the side here, we do have some more windows used with different type of pieces there, with clips and these little black things that have studs on the end, and some translucent studs, grills, and that does continue a little bit more down it. And that is the same on the other side. So now it is time for us to take a look at the interior. Now, to get into the Star Destroyer is actually, it's pretty simple, I would say. All you want to do is just grab these side bits here on this, and you actually just pull away at that. Now, you will see that it does not look good. That's why you're going to want that top part, but if you don't have that there, and it's actually pretty simple to do it, you can just grab it like that, and we have some technique there, as you can see, that make sure your Star Destroyer is perfectly stable and is not going to fall down. And looking at this, and of course, you're not really going to be able to play with it, like that's not much room. So you can actually fold these pieces down like that to get inside, and fold these pieces down like, down like that to get inside. Let me get a different camera angle. Looking at the inside of the Star Destroyer, we have plenty of Looking at the inside of the Star Destroyer, we have plenty of space to place minifigures around. You can see plenty of studs. Now, there are a little bit of mix of tile and stud here, but I think there's enough room to put all 5 or 6 of your minifigures in here. Over at this section, we have a little control panel there with a little blue syringe, and that can actually be taken off and put in the hand of a minifigure. We can just click that back in like so. And inside here, this is kind of weird. There's this little box here, and if I can get it out, there we go. And inside it is this little blue jar. Now, in my opinion, this just looks like coaxium from Solo. Well, that's probably not the best representation, but on LEGO's website, it says it's a kyber crystal. Now, this piece here looks more of a kyber crystal than this to me, so I don't know what they're doing with that. But according to LEGO, this is a kyber crystal. You don't have to take my word for it. Just, I don't really think it's a kyber crystal, but that's what LEGO says. But anyway, it does go inside this little box here. And as I've said, there are plenty of space to put minifigures here. We can have our Imperial Gunner just standing there, like working on the control panel. And over here is actually a little hollow table with like rebel ships, of course, is the red. And then this little thing would be a Star Destroyer, probably maybe a Super Star Destroyer by the looks of it. And then these little studs would be other ships. And that's a little light there. We have a little control panel. That is also a sticker. Now, these big parts here are also stickers. I can pull that one out to show you. It has little TIE fighters on it. And of course, to show like damage. And it has other maps on it. And the other hollow table is actually a representation of this Star Destroyer, and it shows like some damage other done to it. And that's great. And of course, both those are stickers, so you want to make sure you put those on great, because those are actually clear stickers. So if you get like air bubbles, it's going to show, and that will not look good. And over here, we can actually put minifigures. So I'm going to put Darth Vader over here, have him just watching the space battle, make sure everything's going good. And looking around, I'm gonna go ahead and flip the Star Destroyer around. Looking at the other side of the Star Destroyer, we can see we have those panels there. We have that same sticker design for control panel over there. And over here we have a couple of boxes. And this one we will find a pair of white binoculars. We can just set that back there. And in this box, it's a little hard to get out. I would recommend taking that out and then taking that out. But inside of this box, we'll actually have 2 thermal detonators. Now we can place those back like so. Okay, now there's more ample room there for minifigures. Now, what I would like to do is I'll put my Death Star Fleet Trooper. I actually remembered his name now. I'm pretty sure that's his name, I think. Anyway, we're going to put our Death Star Trooper there. And we have a little swivel chair there that can, of course, go 360 degrees. We have a little clip there. That is where I intend to put the Stormtrooper's blaster. Because Darth Vader's gun, I'm a little stupid. Darth Vader's lightsaber. I don't know why I said gun. It can go on the back, and the gun really can't go. You can put Darth Vader's Why do I keep saying blaster? You can put Darth Vader's lightsaber in this clip if you want, but I would recommend to put it in the back because that gives you more storage for stuff like this blaster. Now, we will not be putting the Stormtrooper in that chair. We will actually putting Commander Praji in this chair. Now we can swivel around. There is this little printed 1x2 bit as a control panel. I guess it's like a little key card or something. And there is just a white cup, little clear cup. And there is another jumper plate where I guess you could put his gun maybe, or something else. Maybe like a hologram. If you have like a Death Star or Palpatine hologram, Leia hologram, you can do that. And there's really nothing else going for in the section other than the handle, of course, and then more Technic to make sure the stability of the set. One thing I did not show you in this set was this section right here. There is a little alcove here under the handle where you can also put minifigures. So you could probably get a lot more than the minifigures that are included in this set. Like if you wanted to take Cal Kestis, you could probably put him in here, make him fighting Darth Vader or something. But there is clips here with a sniper rifle and a pistol already in there, and I like that. If you had like some minifigures that didn't necessarily have weapons and needed them, there you go. You can just take those, and if you took those off, then you could just put them in extra pieces that you have, and those are of course great weapon storage. Or if you want to like trade out the Death Star Trooper and give him a sniper, you could do that. Now we are looking at the bridge of the Star Destroyer, and I'm actually going to move it a little bit more for you to see the control panels. There we go. Now, looking at the bridge of the Star Destroyer, we can see there are some control panels there. That is the same one that is used there and over there. We have some different control panels there, thank goodness. And we actually have some seats over here. That is where I will be taking my Stormtrooper. We will be sitting him down in this seat over here, if we can. Okay, we'll do that later. Anyway, we can also take our Rebel Imperial Technician, and we can sit him down in this chair. Now, he actually has a control panel. What is weird, LEGO used these, like, slope pieces here, and if I can try to get this up just a little bit to show you, they use these slope pieces so that the sticker is just on one side. So if you went to the exact opposite side of here, there is no control panel there. So if I flip the set around to show you that other seat, let me do that in a second. Okay, now we actually get a better look at that and that seat. Let me see if I can do my Stormtrooper now. There we go, I have a better side. Anyway, looking at it, he's just staring at a wall. That's why I didn't put the Technician on this side, because otherwise the Technician ain't doing nothing. So in this way, the Stormtrooper's just looking, but aside from the minifigures, even if they weren't here, whoever's sitting here is just staring at a wall. The seat should be over one so that they actually have a computer to look at. I think it's just stupid how LEGO did this. Like, you also can't really see the top half of it because of this piece here. Now, of course, you could probably just pull that up. And what I recommend doing is maybe buying two of these and, like, pulling it out a little bit and having them come over. And then you could have two on the other side, like, I don't know, like maybe buy two of these and you combine them into one super big Star Destroyer. That would be a great video for me to do. Comment below if you'd like me to do that. Anyway, we're just gonna fix that back to normal. And, I mean, it's okay. Like, for stuff like this, like, you could probably make it work. Just have the Stormtrooper sit here and, like, he's on break, not doing anything. And, I mean, it's great for what it is. It's just, you should have two control panels. Now, the reason that we have studs up here, not something else, is because, like, of course, it's the bridge of the Star Destroyer. You can actually have minifigures walking up here, and we can have Darth Vader up in the back, and Commander Praji coming up to give Vader some good, or in Episode 5's case, bad news. Now, there is one other thing with the Star Destroyer. Most of you all probably don't, well, most of you all LEGO fans out there probably know this. LEGO actually released the Duel on Peridia set this year, and that actually included our second Grand Admiral Thrawn, and that is quite a great figure, I must say. But if you have that set, then you will own a Grand Admiral Thrawn minifigure, or if you have the 2017 Phantom 2. Now, of course, Thrawn has his Chimera, so LEGO did not actually give us a Chimera ever. And of course, that is a Star Destroyer, so LEGO actually released Thrawn and a Star Destroyer in the same wave. So what I would recommend doing is just popping Thrawn in this Star Destroyer. I mean, now he has a Star Destroyer to command, and he's got some people below him, and he has an Imperial crew to have, and he has his Chimera. And that is what I'm going to personally do. As you can see, I'm just putting Thrawn in there. Now, I mean, now you can have Thrawn with his Chimera, so that is definitely something I would say. And yeah. Anyway, let's get to the overview of this. Now, I must say, this is oh my gosh, this is a great set. Like, my brother got this before me, unfortunately, and I actually had time to experiment with this a little bit, because I was on the fence about it, because 160, but after I saw him built it and the size of this thing, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buy myself one of these. And I must say, I am not disappointed with these results at all. This is a great Star Destroyer. I mean, I think it is one of the best that we've gotten. It's definitely the smallest that we've gotten. Like, the 2006 Star Destroyer was actually bigger than this, I must say. And just looking at this, I think you all might criticize me for this, but I think this is the one of the sets that Star Wars has where you should not buy it for the minifigures. Now, like, they're great minifigures. Like, 5 of them are actually exclusive to the set, but I think if you're buying this set, you're not gonna really care about those figures. Like, Darth Vader, he comes, like, the cheapest set he comes in is a $15 mech. You're not buying this for Darth Vader. You're not buying this for... The only minifigure you might buy the set for is Cal Kestis, because he is exclusive to this set, and if you're trying to collect all 7 25th anniversary sets, because LEGO popped a 7th one on us, then I think I would probably recommend to pick up this set. And honestly, I think that you would not be disappointed if you dropped 160 on this set. And yeah, that's all I really got to say on this set. I think this is one of the best sets of August 1st. That Onyx Cinder and Dark Falcon also come in. Like, Dark Falcon's first, this is second, then Onyx Cinder is third for me. And I really do like this set, and it is just a great one to have in your collection. Anyway, thank you all for enjoying, and I'm hoping to do an upcoming live stream soon if I haven't already done that, and I will see you all next time.